Right. Gather round because we're about to witness something absolutely spectacular. The moment when Nigel Farage's statistical house of cards came crashing down faster than a poorly constructed Brexit promise. And yes, before you ask, someone did actually fact-check him. I know, shocking stuff. What happens when you mix dodgy statistics, a furious Matthew Stadlen, and Martin Daubney desperately trying to play defense? You get the most entertaining political car crash since Boris tried to explain Partygate. So buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the chaos that erupted when someone dared to call out Farage's numbers game. Picture this. GB News, that bastion of balanced broadcasting, becomes a setting for what can only be described as statistical warfare. On one side, we have Nigel Farage throwing around numbers like his at a charity auction. On the other, Matthew Stadlen armed with actual facts and the audacity to use them. Between them stands Martin Daubney, looking like a man who's just realized has brought a water pistol to a gunfight. Now, here's where things get properly juicy. Farage, in his infinite wisdom, decided to claim that Afghan men are 22 times more likely to commit sexual offenses than UK-born individuals. 22 times. That's not just statistical manipulation. That's statistical acrobatics worthy of Cirque du Soleil. But here's the thing about throwing around numbers like confetti at a wedding. Eventually, someone's going to ask where you got them from. Enter Matthew Stadlen, stage left, with a kind of energy that suggests he's been waiting his entire career for this moment. That is not correct, he declared with the confidence of a man who's actually done his homework. It's complete rubbish. And just like that, Farage's carefully constructed narrative started wobbling like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. But wait, it gets better. Stadlen didn't just dismiss the claim. He came armed with alternative data from Sky News suggesting the real figure is closer to 3 times more likely. 3 times. Not 22. That's the difference between stubbing your toe and having your entire leg amputated. Slight discrepancy there, Nigel. Now, watching Martin Daubney's reaction was like witnessing someone try to defend a sandcastle against a tsunami. It's not, he protested, with a kind of desperation usually reserved for people trying to explain why they've eaten the last biscuit. His defense? The data comes from the Center for Migration Control because, apparently, the government won't give us the real data. Ah, yes, the classic conspiracy theorist fallback. When the official numbers don't support your argument, just claim they are hiding the real numbers. It's like saying your exam results would have been brilliant if only the teachers had marked them properly. Pure genius. But Stadlen wasn't having any of it. He doubled down with a kind of precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker weep with joy. The figure is way out, he insisted. This analysis shows the 22 figures complete fantasy that stays up fair. Complete fantasy. Those are the words you use to describe unicorns and the idea that pineapple belongs on pizza, not government statistics. Here's what makes this whole debacle absolutely delicious. We're watching the real-time destruction of what politicians call alternative facts and what the rest of us call making stuff up. Farage built his entire argument on statistics that appear to have been conjured from the same place he gets his haircut advice, somewhere completely divorced from reality. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. This explosion happened just as Farage was trying to position himself as a man who could restore order to British streets. Nothing says trust me with law and order, quite like getting your crime statistics spectacularly wrong on live television. It's like a chef burning toast and then asking if you'd like them to prepare your wedding cake. But here's where it gets properly mental. While Farage is busy juggling imaginary statistics, he's simultaneously demanding that police forces reveal more detailed information about criminal suspects, including their ethnicity and immigration status. The irony is thicker than his Brexit promises. He wants transparency from everyone else while serving up statistics that have less accuracy than a weather forecast. The man who once complained about Project Fear is now running his own Project Terror, complete with inflated numbers designed to make people more afraid of asylum seekers than they are of their own government's competence. It's like complaining about fake news while simultaneously operating a fake news factory from your own living room. And let's talk about those court documents has been waving around like a victory flag. Yes, 211 individuals in asylum accommodation have faced criminal charges this year. Sounds scary until you realize that's out of thousands of asylum seekers, making it statistically insignificant. But why let context ruin a perfectly good moral panic? What's particularly brilliant about this whole affair is how it exposes a fundamental weakness in populist politics. When you build your entire platform on emotional manipulation rather than facts, eventually someone's going to ask you to show you're working. And when that happens, the whole thing collapses faster than a poorly constructed UKIP manifesto. Stadlen's intervention wasn't just fact-checking, it was political demolition. He took Farage's carefully constructed fear narrative and exposed it for what it really is. Statistical fiction designed to make people angry rather than informed. It's a political equivalent of revealing that the scary monster in the horror film is actually just someone in a rubber suit. The really beautiful part is watching Martin Daubney trying to salvage the situation by demanding the real data. It's like watching someone argue that their lottery numbers would have won if only the draw had been done differently. The desperation is almost artistic in its purity. But here's what makes this story absolutely perfect. While Farage is busy inflating immigration crime statistics, our beloved Prime Minister is out here accepting free race day tickets like collecting Pokemon cards. The man who promised to clean up politics is still accepting freebies faster than a university student at a freshers' fair. You couldn't write this stuff if you tried. The contrast is absolutely delicious. On one hand, we have Farage making up numbers to scare people about immigrants. On the other, we have Starmer accepting hospitality from wealthy donors while promising to tighten the rules. It's like watching two people argue about who's a better swimmer while they are both drowning. What this entire episode reveals is the absolute state of British politics right now. We have politicians throwing around statistics like they're confetti, others accepting gifts like it's Christmas morning, and everyone pretending they're a solution to everyone else's problems. It's political pantomime, and we're all stuck in the audience wondering when someone's going to shout behind you. The fact that it took a journalist on GB News to fact-check these claims tells you everything you need to know about the current state of political discourse. We're so used to politicians lying that when someone actually calls them out on it, it becomes news. That's not democracy. That's political karaoke where everyone forgotten words, but they are still singing anyway. So there you have it. The moment when statistical reality met political fantasy, and fantasy got absolutely demolished. Farage learned the hard way that you can't just make up numbers and hope nobody notices. Unfortunately for him, Matthew Stadlen was paying attention, and he brought receipts. The moral of the story? When you're dealing with crime statistics, maybe don't treat them like ingredients in a recipe where you can just add more until it tastes right. Numbers are stubborn things. They don't care about your political agenda, and they definitely don't care about your feelings. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to UK Pancakes for more political chaos served fresh daily. Trust me, with this government, there's always more where that came from.